In life, we're told exactly what to do, especially when it comes to adulthood. You follow everything to the letter of the law and you get a good job, and then your finances are just gonna skyrocket. But as you become a young adult, especially entering into your early 20s, late 20s, early 30s, all those age groups, you realize it's much harder than you thought. It's much harder than they said. You're just falling flat on your face. Your finances are a shambles and you have no idea what the heck you're doing. Throughout the 6 years that I've been on my personal finance journey and what has driven me to learn more about personal finance, I've learned the number one thing that everyone needs to have to get ahead in life, especially if you want to get wealth. Hi, my name is Adrian, and this is Always Talk Money. I like to talk money as it relates to everyday life. I don't have any investing tips or get rich quick schemes, just a candid conversation amongst friends. Now, I know I say I don't give investing advice in my videos, which I don't, but if you want the ETFs that I personally use that have made me a lot of money, go to alwaystalkmoney.com/store, pick up your ETF booklet. I promise you it's worth its weight in gold. Now, let's get into the video. Now, everyone has their own timeline, and I guess a lot of people tell me I'm fortunate that at 31, I've figured out what it takes to build wealth. And even though I'm not a millionaire right now, I know I'm well on my way because I have had the blueprint and I've learned the number one thing in order to build wealth. But before I tell you that, I just want to give a quick backstory. In my early 20s, I forego going to college. I didn't want to go, I didn't want to get the loans. I didn't want to be bogged down. And quite frankly, I didn't even know exactly what I wanted to study. So I said, you know what, let me just get to work. I went to work and I've worked in warehouses. I've done, all types of driving gigs. I love driving. But before I did my first entrepreneurial journeys, I was working in a warehouse and I worked really hard because they tell you work hard and then you will get ahead. And that's true to a certain extent. You do need a special ingredient though in accordance with you working hard. So I was working hard at this job and I've done everything I needed to do because I wanted to get this one promotion, right? And I thought I was a shoo-in because all my numbers were great, my attendance were great, I hit all of the metrics. Come to find out, they gave it to someone who had more experience because they said it was seniority. And if you've worked in any type of corporate America and big company, there's a lot of politics that you need to play. I didn't play the politics, right? I just worked hard and made sure my numbers were good, but I didn't know all the right supervisors, the right managers. I didn't know the district head or the lady in HR. And the guy that got a promotion over me, he was always in the office, chatting it up with the bosses. And I guess at the end of the day, that counted for something. And so that kind of gave me my first lesson in building wealth. It's oftentimes not what you know, but who you know. Know the right person and you can skip the line to success that much faster. That's why a lot of people say, have mentors, have people who have done it before because they can show you the way. If you try to go personal finance and the wealth journey alone, you likely won't get anywhere, or you likely will get somewhere, but at a much slower rate. And that's why I do this brand of personal finance, because it's not about numbers on a spreadsheet. Everyone can add, everyone can subtract, and everyone can divide. But a lot of people don't know that personal finance and your money and the decisions you make is intrinsically linked to psychology and a lot of philosophy. And so my brand of personal finance is not about telling you the number one gig that can make you $1,000 a day. Rather, the foundations of what you need to have before you can have the business that makes you $1,000 a day. Because all those numbers are definitely possible, but if you don't have the right foundation, you'll never be able to do that. So yeah, personal finance, philosophy, psychology, it's all intertwined. And before I tell you what the number one lesson I learned about personal finance is, could you guys please give a like, subscribe if you're new, or if you haven't already. The number one thing I learned on my personal finance journey is that leverage is the most important thing. Leverage is the most important thing. It's about who you know, yes. It's about what you know, yes. It's about working hard, yes. But if you don't have leverage, none of that stuff matters. And just a quick little story on leverage. I was doing trucking, in the early parts of the pandemic, right? And there was a load that needed to go to like a remote part of Canada. There was a lot of, mandates with the jab and so on and so forth. And I happened to have had the jab because I wanted to make money. I didn't care about anything else. This was not political or anything for me. I just wanted to make money. I'm a businessman. That's what I do. And because I had that, I was able to cross the Canadian border with my truck and with my freight. And I got paid $3,500 per day for 2 days, right? $3,500 per day. And that was the most money I had made in a single day at that time. And what that showed me is that route, I could have driven that route at any single time in my life of the year, but with that specific set of circumstances, I had unique leverage in terms of I was able to cross the border because I got the jab and I could go to that remote part of Canada. And so the company that hired me paid me $3,500 a day. And that's what you need to know when you want to build wealth on your personal finance journey. Leverage is very important, and there are different types of leverage. You can leverage debt, you can leverage your time, you can leverage other people's time, you can leverage your assets, and you can leverage money. And I'm gonna give a brief synopsis and description of each type of leverage. Time leverage is when you work for your job. You go to work, you exchange however many hours, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours for a specific paycheck. That's what time leverage is. That leverage is usually a lot lower because your money is linked to how much time you can spend doing a specific job. Asset leverage. Asset leverage is this YouTube channel. I recorded this video at one point in time, but whenever and wherever you're watching this right now, I have not recorded it again, right? I don't speak every single time someone watches this video. I spoke one time right now, and you are watching this on a replay, most likely, and it's making me money. So that's me leveraging my asset. It's not linked directly to my time. And you can leverage debt. And that's what banks do. When you make a deposit in a bank, you basically are giving the bank a loan. And what the bank does is they take your deposit and then they, give it to someone else so that person can buy a house through a mortgage and so on and so forth. So that's the bank leveraging debt because they owe you your money. They have to give you back every single dime that you have put into that bank account. But they're leveraging that money by lending it out. Then you can leverage other people, which means you have employees. Let's say I had an assistant, an editor, a sound guy, a director, all this other type of stuff. Let's say all these people worked on this channel and was doing everything that I didn't want to do. That's me leveraging the power of other people in order to make money because this channel is a business and I want to make money with it. And then the final type of leverage is leveraging money. And when you leverage money, that's when you use your money to make more money. So, you put your money in the market. Let's say you put 100,000 in the market and you come back in 10 years and that 100,000 has turned into $1 million. That's you leveraging your money. So you can leverage your time when you go to a job and work. You can leverage an asset. That means if you have something that you own that produces money for you, it could be a YouTube channel, it could be a physical asset like a Chick-fil-A restaurant or a gym, or you own an apartment complex. You can leverage debt, meaning you borrow money in order to use it to make more money on top of that money and then paying back the debt and taking off your profit off of it. You can leverage other people, which is when you're a boss, when you're an entrepreneur, you have people working for you that make you more money. Think of all the big corporations like Amazon. They're leveraging the power of hundreds of thousands of people to make millions and billions and trillions of dollars. And then finally, you can leverage money. And that's like when you leverage your money, you lend somebody $100, you tell them come back in a week and bring me back $150. So you use that $100 to make 50 bucks. That's the power of leveraging money. And that's the different types of leverage. But in personal finance, if you want to be wealthy, you have to understand that you have to create leverage. With that being said, guys, this is the end of the video. Go to alwaystalkmoney.com, sign up for the newsletter. There's tips and tricks coming out every single Friday. Sign up for that. Get my ETF booklet. I promise you it's worth its weight in gold. And please leave a like on the video. We also appreciate that. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what type of leverage are you going to be going out and building for yourself today. New videos Mondays, Thursdays, and until then, my friends, I will see you. Peace.